Hello everyone, the GS paper 3 is out. I am sincerely hoping that all of you were able to attempt all the questions and were able to write good answers to these questions. I'll talk briefly about the economic section. Like what has been happening since last 3 or 4 years, we have 8 questions of economics, as in the first 4 from 1 to 4 and from 11 to 14. The number of questions have reduced. There were 9 or 10 earlier, but now we have 8. This time, agriculture has 4 questions out of 8. And again, the weightage of agriculture that varies around 3 questions most of the time. This time we have got 4 questions. As in, I'm including FPI question also as agriculture, which is obviously a rational way. But yes, if you look at the questions, the nature of questions is, I would say, nothing surprising in these questions. You look at the question on, for example, retreat of world from multilateralism towards protectionism. We have been talking about these things. You have been reading about these things in newspaper continuously post the Trump tariffs. It was quite expected that these things would be asked. As we discussed in the class also, in our sessions also, we discussed India's trade with the rest of the world and the impact that tariffs would have, the relevance of WTO, even though it's not asked in the question, but yes, certainly it becomes important to write about those things in the answer. Then you have a question about HDI and IHDI. Again, this is something that India's performance on these metrics always in news, and regularly we have questions about, let's say, GDP or GNP or GNH, gross national happiness, various developmental aspects, as in not just global developmental aspects. So these questions are there. HDI, IHDI, we regularly discuss these things in the class, and in the sense that as students, we are supposed to be aware about these nuances. Ki HDI kya hai, IHDI kya hai. Report came out, it comes out every year. You have to be aware about these things. I'm hoping that you were able to write good answers for that also, HDI, IHDI. Then you have got question on fiscal health indicator of the states. And before that, in the 10 markers, you have got some decision with respect to cropping pattern. Again, हर साल cropping pattern का सवाल है कि this time they have asked about high value crops. What are the factors that farmers take into account to decide high value crops हमको कौन से grow करने हैं? Depletion of groundwater resources है, fiscal health indicator of states है. Now this is something that has also been in news repeatedly regarding the debt of center versus debt of state. Government has fiscal consolidation program and government is trying to reduce fiscal deficit in accordance with that. Similarly, states also have to comply with FRBM max target. For that, we have got fiscal health indicator, and the government is actually using that as a means to devolve funds to states as well. So this becomes important, as in these are, don't think of them as only current affairs part or only static part. You'll not find any source, somebody's classes, somebody's notes. There's not one source of these things. I've discussed these things in class, but that's only coincidental to these things. It's not as if one I've discussed this in all batches, obviously not. So, these things have been in news and we discuss these things in accordance with whenever they appear. But as students, you need to have a sharp eye on these things. These things keep on repeating. One, you have your basics. For example, what are the financial relations between center and state? And then on the base of that, you also know that we have some FRBM Act. And through that act, we are trying to ensure that we have got healthy financial situation of the center and of states. And in that regard, we have tried to develop this index. So these are some things that are static plus current affair, and everything is static plus current affair. You can't simply separate these things. Then, as I was discussing about the question on multilateralism, same thing in that part also. You need to know about WTO, the challenges. The question is not about WTO, but it is regarding the philosophy behind WTO and the idea behind free and fair trade. So these are the things that you need to be aware of to write these good answers. Regarding agriculture question, let's take up the FPI question, or let's say agriculture supply chain question, management question, or for that matter even cropping pattern question. We discuss these things, that whenever you come across a question on agriculture regarding any aspect, first you must visualize the entire supply chain of agriculture. From inputs from the input side, as in production, what all goes into the production, then the output, then marketing, then transportation, logistics, certifications. Visualize the entire supply chain and look at each point, what are the challenges, what are the scopes, what are the opportunities that are there. You do this thing and then through that you are able to write good answers. This is more about how you look at things. If you are clear in this looking at things, then you will be able to write good answers. Every answer, like the session that we took just before the exam, every answer should have had some kind of graph or some infographic. For example, in the fiscal health indicator question, if you don't know anything, still you could have drawn the trend of fiscal deficit of the center, as in collective fiscal deficit of the center and that of states, or let's say gross debt level, uska graph आप बनाइए. Recently, just before the exam, there was a news that S&P has upgraded India's debt, as in Government of India's debt, as in, I'm not saying that you need to be reading newspapers or the question would be framed just before the exam, but you must be aware of these things, and these things are regularly there in newspaper. ये नहीं कि एक दिन पहले के अखबार में से सवाल है, ये क्लेम करना तो फालतू की बात है. लेकिन ये तो समझ में हमको आना चाहिए कि हमको अखबार रेगुलरली पढ़ना है. डेटा पॉइंट्स न्यूज़पेपर से हमको रेगुलरली कलेक्ट करने हैं. Monthly current affairs magazines that we provide, or PT and Main 35, these magazines would have relevant data points that you can use to substantiate your answers in the exam. Agriculture के ऊपर we have got various missions. Government is encouraging farmers to diversify towards high value crops. What factors will influence them to choose those crops? So these things are something that are, as in, extremely important from that perspective. PLI scheme, production incentive scheme, we had PLI 1.0 and now we have PLI 2.0. So सरकार कोविड के टाइम PLI लेके आई थी, which reaped its benefit. We had objectives with respect to investment, employment and growth. PLI में ये तीन हमारे मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव होते हैं कि हमारे को इन्वेस्टमेंट कुछ लेवल का लेके आना है, कुछ करना है, हमको एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेट करना है, मतलब एडिशनल जॉब्स करनी है, एंड देन हमको कुछ एक्सपोर्ट में ग्रोथ करनी है. PLI 1 and now PLI 2.0. So we have this PLI scheme. What are the achievements, what can be done? So again, this is something that is, again, if I claim or if anybody claims कि हाँ यार मैंने क्लास में पढ़ाया है, तो वो एक अनजस्टिस होगा आपके साथ. क्यों? क्योंकि ये चीज़ें रेगुलरली न्यूज़पेपर में आती हैं. इसके लिए आपको अखबार पढ़ना ज़रूरी है. आप न्यूज़पेपर पढ़िए, आप करंट अफेयर्स की मैगजीन पढ़िए, वहाँ पे यू विल रेगुलरली कम अक्रॉस दीज थिंग्स. ओके, इंडिया इज़ टारगेटिंग दीज पर्टिकुलर सेक्टर्स. मेडिसिनल सेक्टर है, जैसे मेडिकल डिवाइस का है, APIs का है, सेमीकंडक्टर्स है, सम हाई टेक्नोलॉजी, मोबाइल फ़ोन है. ऑल दीज सेक्टर्स आर व्हाट वी आर, ऑटो कंपोनेंट्स का सेक्टर है. वी आर टारगेटिंग दीज सेक्टर्स अंडर PLI स्कीम. सो यू शुड नो अबाउट कि क्यों स्कीम है, क्या इसके ऑब्जेक्टिव्स हैं, क्या इसके अचीवमेंट्स रहे पहले स्टेज के अंदर, और अब हम क्या इंप्रूव कर सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, वन इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट दैट यू शुड हैव रिटन वाज रिगार्डिंग एम्प्लॉयमेंट. So in our PLI 1 scheme, our investment targets were met, our export targets were met, but our employment targets were 60% met. So 60% met का मतलब क्या है कि जितना हमने टारगेट किया था उसका 60% में एम्प्लॉयमेंट क्रिएट किया. अच्छी बात है, बट हाँ, हम और क्रिएट करना चाहिए. सो फॉर दैट कंक्लूडिंग पार्ट में आप लिखिए दैट नाउ वी हैव दिस ELI स्कीम, एम्प्लॉयमेंट इंसेंटिव स्कीम. So that is, we were first targeting production, now we are targeting employment along with production. So this is how you write better answers. So the paper, as always, I'll not give some new gyan, paper as always has been a paper about maturity. The important thing, last point, for those candidates who have not written mains this year, हम सेशन करेंगे, यहाँ पे डिस्कस करेंगे क्या क्या आंसर हम लिख सकते थे, बट ये पॉइंट है जो लोगों ने एग्जाम नहीं दिया है. Those who are preparing right now, this serves as a wake-up call for you to understand the kind of depths that you would have to go to be able to have a chance of writing good answers. ये चीज़ आपके लिए इम्पॉर्टेंट है. आप ये देखिए कि आपको अखबार पढ़ना ही पढ़ना है, ज़रूरी है. अखबार में कहाँ पे आपकी एक की नहीं होनी चाहिए. ये नहीं कि टीचर ने क्लास में पढ़ा दिया, किसी और ने आप कुछ बोल दिया कि ये पढ़ लो, ऐसा कर लो, तो हेंस हो जाएगा. यू हैव टू हैव दैट maturity in understanding what is it that has to be read, how deep you have to go, what kind of information you have to gather. That becomes a more important part. And as I say every time, PYQs are the most important source of your preparation. Not the question per se or the answer per se, but understanding that what is the psychology, what is the mentality of the examiner while asking those questions. So this is my first take. The paper was good. I'll not say easy or difficult, that's a very subjective judgment. The paper was good. I would expect serious candidates to be able to attempt and write a very good answer to this question. With this, thank you so much. All the best.